Now everybody scream enough respect to the X. Enough respect given.
Just a quick look at all the Apple stuff at Best Buy. I think this is the new display that was announced a few weeks ago. Yeah, the studio display. Now, from what I've seen and read, it's not the best value as far as Apple devices go. And we know that Apple doesn't have the best value when it comes to anything, but this one is even less of a value when you compare it to Apple's other offerings. It looks good from my naked eye, but again, I don't use these type of devices on a professional level, so the little things that I wouldn't see as far as the display goes, how it's used, the color accuracy and all that, a more professional user would see those things and be able to say, well, this is not the display for me. Personally, I think it looks fine, but for this price, it's not something I would get, because there are much better offerings out there for less than $1,600. Now, this I think is a Mac Mini. So if you didn't know, right, you would think that it's the Mac Studio. But the Studio is thicker than that, if I remember correctly. It's pretty much two Mac Minis sandwiched on top of each other with that amazing processor combined inside. But overall, very nice setup. If you like Macs, I wouldn't mind something like this in my home. Not for $4,000, but it looks nice nonetheless. In all honesty, this is the only iPhone I actually like, in both performance and the physical appeal. I mean, it's purple. Why wouldn't I? My God. This is probably the best piece of technology Cupertino has ever released. I mean, it looks more blue on my camera. I know there's a setting to adjust how the S22 Ultra does its camera vids, but I haven't gone in to check all of that out. But off camera, this purple is amazing. It's like a nice little lavender. Now, I know that this came out last year, and this was the spring color for it last year. This year it is those greens. I like this one much better. I would, if I didn't have iPhone 12 mini, I would definitely get this one as my personal iPhone. So just because I want to be there when Apple finally does something of interest with their devices. They upgrade everything. Having an iPhone on hand for when that, or if that does happen, or if when that does happen, it's always a good thing. Now, would I trade in my iPhone mini just to change the color? Nah, I'm not that crazy about purple devices, but I have to appreciate what they did here. This purple really does speak to me, not just because it's purple, but the type of purple it is. This nice little almost teal. It's a really nice shade of purple. I'm not sure what that is. Just real nice, man. Good job, Apple. Good job. So here's the iPhone 13 mini. I have the 12 mini, and actually it's in my pocket right now. I like the minis, they feel good in the hand. You can easily use them with one hand. They're not massive like the Pros and the Pro Plus or whatever they call it. And this is actually a really nice color, this pinkish cream. You know what? It really does look really nice. I wouldn't be mad at something like this at all if I was to use a iPhone more often. Personally, I'm more for the purples and the reds, but this peachish pink looks real nice. it looks and feels just like my iPhone. But, they don't really change much on the outside of these things. It's all internal upgrades, but it's upgrades for the better. The phones perform more, they perform better battery life, better cameras. So though it's a small upgrade or an iterative upgrade, it's a decent upgrade nonetheless. And if you don't have a 12, if you're coming from, let's say, a 10 or an 11 like my wife and my daughter were, the upgrade to the 13 is a nice little jump in both specs and performance. Well, here we have the new green color for the iPhone 13 Pro, and the green for the regular iPhone 13. I gotta say, I like the green of the Pro a lot better than the green of the regular. I mean, green is green, but I see what they did there. For the Pro, they put this little glossy green at the back, and the more plasticky, not as good looking green around the frame of the camera. With the non-Pro, they reversed the look, the nicer green to frame the camera, and the more plastic looking green as the body itself. I'm simply assuming this green coating costs more than this one, and also it helps to differentiate the iPhones themselves. I mean, aside from the cameras, this has a triple lens, this has a double lens, but yeah, I mean, the iPhones themselves look just as bland as always. There really isn't any difference when it comes to looking at these things. I think this one has a better screen, maybe. I don't remember all of the specs for the Pros compared to the non-Pro models. I'm not an iPhone aficionado. I just happened to see the green and said, oh, you know what? Let me take a quick look at these. So with that said, this is Angie, the Neon X, and just taking a quick look at what iPhones have to offer for their spring collection as far as their phones go. This is what I'm into.